Good morning, everybody. This is R. Bindya, dealing a topic from nursing management, collective bargaining. To start with, let us see the collective bargaining and its introduction of collective bargaining. The concept of collective bargaining was introduced very late in India as trade unions were found only in 20th century. So very long back it was introduced. The concept of collective bargaining attained a significance only after 1962. The phrase collective bargaining is said to be coined by Sydney and Battersea Webb and Great Britain. It is made up from two words, collective, which means group, and bargaining, which means proposals and counter proposals. So it is a process in which the representatives of a labor organization and the representatives of business organization meet and attempt to negotiate a contract or agreement which specifies the nature of employee-employer union relationship. So collective bargaining is a part and parcel of most of the organization where employee and employer come forward for a mutual understanding where the employees may have some request for some need and the employer, if feasible, they provide it to them. Now, the definition of collective bargaining is an agreement between a single employer or an association of employers on the one hand and a labor union on the other hand, which regulates the terms and conditions of employment, which has been defined by Tudwig Teller. So when we say collective bargaining, there are two parties. One is who is working and the other one who is giving the work. So they may have several issues related to wages, time of work, then leave, then type of work, then the areas they work. They may need some additional facility or they may need an updating training program. So all this put forth is collective bargaining. Now, another definition given by the Encyclopedia of Social Medicine says that collective bargaining is a process of discussion and negotiation between two parties, one or both of whom is a group of persons acting in contest. More specifically, it is a procedure by which an employer or employers and a group of employees agree upon the conditions of work. So here, when we say collective bargaining, there is always a condition of work which needs to be rectified, which may be from the employee side or the employer side. So there will be some mutual understanding. There may be some give and take association between them. They may agree for some give and take, or they may not agree for any give and take policy. So there may be a win-win approach or no win approach. So anything can happen in collective bargaining. The result of collective bargaining can be anything. Now, the history of collective bargaining says that in Cape Cod Hospital, nurses in the United States, they had done strike for their issues. So this is a picture showing the collective bargaining in the history. Now, in the history, way back in 1913 itself, in the year 1913, the California legislature extended the 8-hour law to pupil nurses. That is, the nurses had requested that they cannot work more than 8 hours a day. So that was the time when the issue was put forth, and then thereafter it was decided that the people should not work more than 8 hours. It is not possible for them to work for more than 8 hours. They need rest. So this kind of a conclusion also comes forward when there is a collective bargaining. So in 1919, formation of the Union of Stewards and Nurses also was done. 1930, the National Labor Relations Act, NLRA, was established. And 1934, ANA actively campaigned for the 8-hour per day. So here you see they had campaigned for the 8-hour per day, and they had attained a victory. In 1941, California State Nurses Association represented nurses' concerns before the Labor Board. So they had put forth their request in front of the Labor Board and First Nurses Association to represent the nurses. And then we have objectives of collective bargaining. They say resolve differences over knotty issues, That is, the issues which are very complicated, where there is a need for some change, that is called knotty issues, and then protect the interest of workers through collective action. Always you have to go by the interest of the workers. It has to be protected. They have to be comfortable when they work. Their issues should be solved now and then, and carry out negotiations voluntarily. So negotiation should be a give and take process. There should be cooperation from both the sides without interference from a third party. Arrive at an amicable agreement. So amicable agreement means mutual understanding. Both of them should come forward, present their problem, and one should present, the other should listen to it, and the other should give another solution for it, and the previous person should be ready to accept it or find a substitute for it, and then there should be mutual understanding between them. So that is called amicable agreement, where there is a smooth agreement and they are respecting each other and they have a good give and take policy. So through a process of give and take. So to arrive at an agreement on wages, suppose there is an issue on the salary, then when the employees come forward with the issue, the employers also should agree with it. So to arrive at an agreement on wages and other conditions of employment, that is their working hours, then the leave like earned leave, sick leave or yearly leave. So what all they want changes regarding that should be accepted, to have peaceful coexistence for the mutual benefits and progress, and to maintain employee-employer relation bilaterally. So to maintain employee-employer relation bilaterally. So both of them should agree to the norms and conditions. They should have a peaceful mind at the end, and they should not fight or should not disrespect each other. Then the characteristics, first one, collective. Collective is a word that means collective bargaining is a two-way group process where the employer's representative and employees' representative sit together to negotiate terms of employment. So that means what? Where collective means group. So this is not a single man's problem. It is a collective problem. That is, many people are facing the same problem and they need a solution for it. So people will get together, they will find out a plan for it, and then they will put it forth. Strength. Both the parties in collective bargaining are strong and equal. So both are strong and equal. Voluntary means both parties come to the negotiation table voluntarily in order to go in particular negotiation. It is based on discussion, mutual interest and understanding. So first there is a discussion. Say what to do, what are the problems, they list it down all, and then when they go and present, there should be mutual trust and each one should come forward to understand their problem. Next is formal. It is a formal process in which certain employment related issues are to be regulated at national, organization and workplace level. So always, whether it is in a very small area, in a hospital or in a national level or in an organization or workplace level, wherever it is, it should be accepted, it should come forward with a mutual conclusion. Flexible. It is flexible and continuous process and not fixed and static. Improvement. It is a method to improve the employer-employees relation in organization and resolve management and employees conflicts. So always it should be towards resolving the conflicts rather than increasing the conflict. So they should respect each other, they should understand the problems of each other and find a substitute and a solution for it, and they should accept it. Representation. Collective bargaining is between the representatives of employees and management. So of course there is a management, there is an employee, both have some problem, they are coming together to find a solution. The management does not directly deal with employees. It carries negotiations with the representatives, executives of unions and associations. So both of them will have association or unions and their representatives will come forward for finding a solution. Then dynamics. Dynamics means collective bargaining is dynamic. That is, it's not a one-way process. There are different things under it that go on changing over a period and grows and expand the way of agreement, the way of implementation and way of discussion. So we see there is an expanded way of agreement and the implementation also is expanded and the way of discussion is also not narrow, it is wide. So that is why it is called dynamic. Next is continuous. Continuous means it is an ongoing process. It is not a one-day process. It takes a long time. So it is continuous. So when we continually go through the process, then only one fine day we may get a solution. So collective bargaining is continuous and begins with agreement. So we should make our mind to do some agreement and the implementation of agreement and further negotiations. Then bipartite process. Bipartite means both the sides, because the employee and employers representatives negotiate directly face to face across the table. Now, types of bargaining, that is conjunctive or distributive bargaining. Conjunctive bargaining is the most common type of bargaining and involves zero-sum negotiations. In other words, one side wins and other loses. So that means one side wins and the other side loses. Both parties try to maximize their respective gains. They try to settle economic issues such as wages, benefits, bonus, etc. For example, unions negotiate for maximum wages and the management wants to yield as little as possible while getting things done through workers. So what the management is trying to do? The management is trying to settle the economic issues such as wages, benefits, bonus, etc. So where we see the union negotiate for maximum wages and the management wants to yield as little as possible. That means the employees are asking for maximum, but the management is ready to give only little. So this kind of bargaining is called distributive bargaining or conjunctive bargaining. Next one is cooperative or integrative bargaining. Cooperative or integrative bargaining is where we see is similar to a problem solving session in which both sides are trying to reach a mutually beneficial alternative. So both are coming forward for a mutually beneficial alternative where we see a win-win situation. That is, both sides, employee is asking something and then the employer is ready to give. So both sides, they are satisfied. That is called a win-win situation. Now, both the employer and the union try to resolve the conflict to the benefit of both the parties. So both sides share information about their interests and concerns and they create a list of possible solutions to best meet everyone's need. So we are meeting everyone's need, that is cooperative or integrative bargaining, where both the sides are satisfied and we have a win-win situation. So most of the time this may not be the case. Sometimes there may be win-win, but most of the time they may not be happy with the collective bargaining. Next is productive bargaining, a form of collective bargaining leading to a productivity agreement in which management offers a pay raise in exchange for alteration to employee working practice designed to increase productivity. So they may change some things in their pay levels instead of doing some changes in other things that they have asked. So productivity bargaining has been described as an agreement in which advantages of one kind or another, such as higher wages or increased leisure, are given to workers in return for agreement on their part to accept changes in working practices or in methods or in organization of work, which will lead to more efficient working. So here we are focusing on more efficient working by doing an agreement in which advantages of one kind or another, such as higher wages or increased leisure, are given to workers in return for agreement on their part to accept changes in working practices or in methods or in organization of work, which will lead to more efficient working. Now, composite bargaining. What is composite bargaining? Workers believed that productivity bargaining agreements increased their workloads. So rationalization, introduction of new technology, tight productivity norms have added to their burden and made the life of a worker somewhat uneasy. As an answer to such problems, labor has come in favor of composite bargaining. In this method, labor bargains for wages as usual, but goes a step further, demanding equity in matters relating to work norms, employment levels, manning standards, and environmental hazards. So here we see that when there is introduction of some technology or some equipment, new equipment, the employee may not be comfortable in using that equipment. So they need a new training program or some new training session. So that may be arranged. That alternative may be done. Now, issues of collective bargaining. Wages and working conditions. That is, usually it is related to the salary and the type of working condition they have. They may not be happy or they may not be very comfortable with what is given. Next is work norms, that is rules and regulation. They may want some changes, they may want some flexibility in the norms, rules and regulations. Then incentive payments. Incentive payments is what additional thing we can give. Then job security, and then changes in technology. That is, if something is given newly to them as part of technology, they may need some training program, work tools, techniques and practices. Then staff transfers and promotions. Suppose staff is transferred and they are not willing for the transfer, some changes they may need for it. And promotions. For a long time, the staffs are not having any promotion, no incentives given, no improvement in the salary and work condition, then they may fight for it and they may get some changes. Then grievances and disciplinary matters, health and safety, insurance and benefits, union recognition, union activities and responsibilities, management rights. So when the management is also not coming forward to maintain the rights, then there may be issues related to the management. So that is called management rights. So altogether, issues of collective bargaining are 14 in number. We have seen them: wages and working condition, work norms, incentive payments, job security, changes in technology, work tools, techniques and practices, staff transfers and promotions, grievances, disciplinary matters, health and safety, insurance and benefits, union recognition, union activities or responsibilities, management rights. Now let us see the preparation for collective bargaining. How should we prepare for a collective bargaining? It is not a one-day process, it's a long term, in which we need first a group to collect for listing down the problems, then plan what to do, then get permission. After you get the permission, you find a date for meeting, and when a date is got, you call the other party and both of you meet, and sessions will be done, one session, second session. Then in some session, there will be a mutual understanding and some agreement will be done, and then that will become a new law. So preparation should begin months before the contract talks. Assemble a group of nurses who support collective. Arrange a meeting with a representative of the State Nurses Association. Conduct necessary research to develop a plan of action. So first we are developing a plan of action. Then establish an organizing committee and subcommittee. So there will be some committees and subcommittees, both the sides, where they will have different plan of actions and they will have some subtopics to discuss about, and they will have some substitutes also for that. If this option is not met, what will be the alternative? So all those options will be listed down and it will be in a written format given to the committee as well as the subcommittee, and begin the process of obtaining union authorization card. So union authorization card is very, very important. Collective bargaining is not a private process, it is a legal procedure also. So we need the authorization cards, and schedule an informal meeting for nurses eligible for the collective bargaining unit. So we need eligibility for collective bargaining unit. We get a card, then we get recognition, and then with that, the committee and subcommittee are coming forward. Then keep the lines of communication open with nurses. That is, anybody can come forward and give their opinion on it and their demands, so that further points can be added to support the issue. Then obtain information from other nurses executives about union activities in neighboring health agencies. Then review other labor contracts negotiating in other agencies to determine what type of demand were made by various worker categories. So various worker categories will be involved in this. So we have to review all that. Then keep ongoing recording agencies, employees, grievance, and analyze these before negotiation begins. So before we start a discussion, we should collect adequate information from other institutions also, whether what is the kind of wages they are receiving, what is the time of work they are following, what are the other upcoming training programs help for them, what are the type of promotions given to the other institutions. So when all this is done, we can feel free to get some more points. So research the wage salary structure of other health agencies in the community and compare against agency current wages. Then read the act of identify limitations. So we should also know the limitations and we should not cross those limitations before going into a full hot discussion. Then initiate the contract negotiations. So we should then only go for the negotiation. Now, points to be kept in mind before collective bargaining, that is, be sure to set clear objectives for every bargaining item and be sure you understand the reason for each. Do not hurry. When in doubt, discuss with your associates. Be well prepared with firm data supporting your position. Always try to keep some flexibility in your position. Don't concern yourself just with what the other party says and does. Find out why. Respect the importance for face saving for the other party. Be alert to the real intentions of the other party, not only for goals but also for priorities. So we have to be very sure that these are our objectives. And while we discuss, we should not be in a hurry. We ourselves should not have any doubt. We should have done very good preparation with the good data supporting, and we should always be flexible also, and we should respect the other party and be alert to the real intentions of other party, not only for goals but also for the priorities. Be a good listener, build a reputation for being fair but firm, learn to control your emotions and use them as a tool. As you make each bargaining move, be sure you know its relationship to other moves, measure each move against your objectives, pay close attention to the wording of every clause negotiated. They are often a source of grievances. Remember that collective bargaining is a compromise process. There is no such thing as having all the pie. Try to understand people and their personalities. Consider the impact of present negotiations on those in future areas. So in future years also. So you have to be a very good listener. So first you should listen to the other party, allow them to talk, have a good understanding of what they have spoken, then build a reputation, and you should not become emotional at any point. You should not become you should not get angry. And as you make each bargaining move, be sure you know its relationship to all other moves and measure each move against your objectives. Pay close attention and remember that collective bargaining is a compromise process. So there is no push and pull in this. So consider the impact of present negotiation on those in future years also. Now, collecting bargaining members. Who are the members who usually come forward for this? Is registered nurses, physician, that is doctors from various areas like medical, surgical, or from OBG, gynecology, or from radiology, or from this orthopedic, or from surgical side, wherever, or general physicians, anybody. Other professionals like who are in allied health sciences or who are in technical levels, ECG technicians or whoever. So technical employees and non-professionals also. So they can come forward to give their issues. Now, organization of collective bargaining unit. That is, first we have to assemble a group of nurses who support the collective bargaining. So you find first the supporters who all will come forward and say that we are with you. So such kind of people should come forward. They should present their issues. They should form a list of issues, arrange a meeting with a representative of Nurses Association of state level, assess feasibility of an organizing campaign. So first we have to organize a campaign and we have to find out how far it is feasible and conduct necessary review of literature to develop a plan of action. So there should be a review of literature. We have to do a little study work also and establish an organizing committee. We should have an organizing committee with us. That organizing committee will follow all the legal procedures in planning, implementing, and in negotiating the process. So these are the three main processes. First, we do the planning, then we conduct a meeting, and then we negotiate, and then the rules are formed. So initiate the process of obtaining authorization card, schedule an informal meeting, and ensure voluntary recognition from the employer, seek certification by National Registration Agency, and initiate contract negotiations. So then we have to find out the contract negotiation. Now this is collective bargaining procedure. See, all are sitting together with their hands put forward towards a single problem to find a solution for the single problem. Now, process of collective bargaining. The process of collective bargaining starts with union claim, and opposite you have management proposal. They find a negotiation. There may be a third party referral and coming forward towards a collective bargaining. So these are the process of collective bargaining. Then process of collective bargaining. The collective bargaining process involves 5 steps. Prepare. This phase involves composition of a negotiation team. So here we are preparing. We are doing a lot of preparation work. Then discuss. Both parties decide the rules that will guide the negotiation. So next we are going for discussion. First we are doing preparation. We are finding the supporters. We are collecting them together. We are forming a group. Then we are discussing where both the parties are deciding certain rules, one for them, other for them, like that we are preparing, and then we have next processes proposed. So it involves the initial opening statements and the possible options that exist to resolve them. Next is bargain. So negotiations are easy if a problem-solving attitude is adopted. This stage comprises the time when what ifs and supposes are set forth and the drafting of agreements take place. So this is the place we are having ifs and buts. Then settlement. This stage is described as consisting of effective joint implementation of the agreement through shared visions, strategic planning, and negotiated changes. So here we are doing the settlement. That is, this stage is described as consisting of effective joint implementation of the agreement through shared visions, strategic planning, and negotiated changes are being done. So we have seen how we have come through all the 5 processes successfully. Now, obstacles. In any problem, there will be some obstacles. So what are the obstacles in this? Is registered nurse who participate in organizing drives could be summarily fired. So hospital could refuse to recognize and bargain with the nursing organization. So either the people who go under collective bargaining, they may be fired, they may be separated, or they may be thrown out of the hospital. These things are very common, and the associations spend years softening up the tough. That is, they may not come forward for collective bargaining, or there may not be any solution found at all finally. Now let us see the advantages in detail. That is, contract to guide standards. That is, these are the advantages. Participation in decision-making process. All union members and management must conform to terms of contract without exceptions. So all of them should agree to the rules and regulations and the written formats. Now, process exists to question manager's authority if member feels something was done unjustly. Nurses gain control of practice. Improve professional relationship. So when we do collective bargaining, we are talking to each other, we are organizing meetings, we are undergoing discussions. So all this will lead to very good professional relationship among us, and professionalism can be promoted. So when there is professionalism is promoted, it is a quality service. Protect patients from inadequate and unsafe care. Give economic security, ensure that nurses have fair pay, good benefits and safe working conditions, and provide power, establish effective channels of communication with decision maker. So like this, in collective bargaining, we see that there are very many advantages. That is, like we are coming to a conclusion, we have some contract guide standards, and participation in decision making is increasing our confidence. We are getting to know each other better. We are formulating certain rules and regulations. We are understanding others' problems. So the quality of work is also going to increase, and we are gaining control of the practices that we are doing and improving the professional relationship. And there is some professionalism which is always promoted by this collective bargaining. Others are getting to know about us. We are getting to know about others. And we are going towards good quality care and protect patients from inadequate and unsafe care. And employees are getting good economic security by this, ensuring that there is some fair pay, good benefits and safe working conditions, and providing power. So these are the various advantages of collective bargaining. Now let us see the disadvantages. Disadvantages are reduced individuality. Other union members may outvote one's decision. Disputes are not handled with individual and management only, must pay unions dues even if one does not support ununionization. So, disadvantage of such a collective bargaining is that in this we may have the reduce in individuality, and other union members may outvote us, and disputes are not handled with individual and management only. So, this is how we have seen this.